Okay, so here, let's get to the meaty stuff, okay? So, Matt Taibbi yesterday, in the nerdiest way possible, did a slow reveal of like secret documents that he had unearthed that was supposed to reveal information about what Twitter did, the steps they took to hide the Hunter Biden story. Now, there are parts that I consider to be informative, instructive, important from that conversation across the board, not just like Matt Taibbi's irrelevant slow burn. I'm talking about like the actual implications of like or the necessary steps that Twitter took originally, and the original implementation of a site-wide ban of a New York Post article and why they did it. I would like to know that. I mean, that is important. Okay. I think that them like hitting the highest note of information spread ban on it, which included like literally not even letting you DM it to other people. That's crazy. Okay. But as we looked at yesterday, and as was my speculation, a lot of the accounts that were taken down, or a lot of the posts that were taken down, that the Biden camp, just like the Trump camp, had direct access to the Twitter communications team. Of course they did. A lot of them were just Hunter Biden's cock, like revenge porn, you know? For those of you who don't know what revenge porn is pornographic material that the party that is involved in it does not want out there. You know, it could be like nudes that they didn't want out there. Oftentimes, the reason why it's called revenge porn is because oftentimes it's like a vengeful ex that releases that information without consent from the other party. And also it used to be like a genre of porn, basically. But it is, not only is it incredibly fucked up, but it's also very illegal. So, of course, the Biden camp, regardless of Hunter Biden's fat cock, did not want those, those photos out there. Understandable. It's illegal, right? So I'm not going to do a Hunter Biden cock reveal. I'm not going to do a Hunter Biden cock review, but he's got a good one. He's got a nice one. He's got a fat one. And basically they were just like, oh, this is a bombshell. Like Elon Musk and Matt Taibbi thought it was going to be a bombshell. I think Elon wanted to do a slow burn on Twitter, which ironically showed the limitations of the platform itself in doing this kind of information release. However, if there's one person who made out like a fucking bandit, it was this guy. He got like more than 400,000 new followers, more than 500,000 new followers in one day. Elon Musk went to everyone's favorite actual good journalist turned into a reactionary freak, Matt Taibbi, to do this slow release, slow burn. They didn't even give any details until like the 16th tweet on the Twitter thread. So it was really fucking silly. Everyone basically said, why aren't you just like posting this as a Substack or a press release? What's happening? This is a funny tweet from it. Wow, this is devastating. Hunter Biden's penis does not have the cock vein. It is completely smooth like a kielbasa or my brain. Twitter colluded with the Biden campaign and the DNC to cover this up. Here's the thread reader app. I'm not even going to go through it, but like most of these requests originally, they like make it seem like this is so crazy. This is so strange. But, you know, both of the campaigns have direct access to Twitter, obviously. Why the fuck wouldn't they? Hunter Biden's laptop information was leaked to the press after a QAnon laptop repairman realized that this laptop had belonged to Hunter Biden, who he never had picked it up. And there was speculation there was hacked material also in the laptop itself. It makes sense because like some of the contents of the laptop were like things that a laptop would not have access to. But it also featured thousands of fucking photos of Hunter Biden being naked around some of the most 35-year-old looking sex workers you've ever seen. Hunter Biden being naked while also smoking crack. Hunter Biden's penis. Just mostly Hunter Biden's penis, really. And he's got a fat hog, so good for him. Anyway. So they took down some of these posts. We looked at some of these posts last night on the Wayback Machine. And a lot of these posts were just Hunter Biden's dick. Like, literally. Like, a lot of the posts were just straight up revenge porn, which you're not allowed to have up on the internet. That is a liability for the platform itself. Like, Twitter could get sued. There could be massive, like, straight up game-changing implications for how all platforms are run if you leave revenge porn and stuff like that up there. The safe harbor clause is what, like, basically is the small thread that holds this entire social media apparatus together. And if you fucking allow that, if you allow your platform to spread so much hatred or otherwise like revenge porn and illegal things, you're going to have the government want to regulate it. And nobody wants that. That would have genuinely negative implications. So most of it was just like silly shit. Then he talks about how like, all the people that work there are Democrats. Doesn't really matter though. The resulting slant in content moderation decisions, blah, 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 blah. He just like basically said that this was the smoking gun. And I left it off in this point. Where was it? You can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up including Gade and the former Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Comms officials Trenton Kennedy writes, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. So the real juice, I think, was Twitter taking extraordinary steps to suppress the New York Post story. Okay? The New York Post story ultimately was a story. And the fact that Twitter decided that this had compromised, hacked material in the story itself that they had not redacted adequately, and then refused to let anybody even share it in DMs, like they hit it with the child pornography tag, basically, which is, obviously these websites have like extra consideration for things that are so highly illegal that it automatically stops you from sending it in DMs. So they hit it with the Chris Paul 3 tag and did not allow people to even share the story, which was definitely a little extra at the time. So this, I think at this point, he finally gets into it. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement this summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. So this basically undercuts the entire argument that conservatives have. That's why this kind of fell apart. It was a dud. He originally blasted the main components of the story, which was that like a lot of these fucking tweets were taken down because they were fucking revenge porn. And of course, they're not going to allow revenge porn to be on the platform. Hunter Biden's penis has nothing to do with the Joe Biden administration or the Joe Biden political campaign or anything for that matter. It's just a nice fucking fat hog. Okay? Him smoking crack with his fucking penis out is not like the game changer that Republicans thought it was going to be. Okay? The decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal policy trust, Vijaya Gadde, playing a key role. They just freelanced it, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that it wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it. You can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange. Trenton Kennedy. I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this stuff as unsafe, and I think the best explainability argument for this externally would be that we're waiting to understand if this story is the result of hacked materials. We'll face hard questions on this if we don't have some kind of solid reasoning for marking this link unsafe. Okay? By this point, everyone knew this was fucked, said one former employee, but the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. The policy's basis is hacked materials, which, by the way, I have an opinion on hacked materials. I'll tell you what I think. It's fucking bullshit to not allow hacked materials that are in the public interest to not be out there, especially if a news outlet is redacting carefully the parts that are actually personal information that is not public information. Take that out and then show the rest of the conversations. If it's a text message between him and his dad, I think because you're Hunter Biden and you're Joe Biden's son, if you're having a conversation with quote unquote the big guy, that can, even if it's a result of hacked material, be important information to report on. Okay? The problem is that it wasn't actually as important as people made it seem. But regardless of whether or not it was important or not, the fact that it was immediately stopped from being distributed was the wrong move. Okay? I actually remember asking you that question about hacked materials back when this came out, and you had the answer. You had that answer and actually changed my mind. What if you were hacked? Brother, do you think I, as a Twitch streamer, have any kind of literal power over what happens in the public? Are you that fucking brain dead? Is your brain okay? Are you fucking delusional? Are you stupid? Do you think at the top of the hour there isn't a 3-minute ad break that you can avoid as long as you subscribe for $5 or for free? Okay? Because let me tell you, you're out of your fucking mind if you think that there isn't a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, which comes at the top of every hour. Okay? Yeah, by the way, yeah, that'd be crazy if they found your monthly income through a hack and it got leaked on Twitter. Yeah, wouldn't that be fucking crazy if that happened to me? And then people would be more mad at me than anything else, than like Twitch as a website not having adequate security. Yeah, wouldn't that be fucking crazy if that happened? Here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. And 1 minute in the middle of the hour. Sakura Gore, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. What? Okay. All right. Austin's here, and later. If you're willing and able, I didn't even look at the fucking. I didn't even look at the group chat. Okay. Anyway, is the shirt from next month's Teddy Fresh drop? No, this is an old shirt. Between this and Pete Davidson's, are big cocks the most effective way to devalue the word of the right? Maybe. Bro, is there like 50 people at your house today? Yes, there's a lot of people in my house, always, okay? That's why I have the house. Anyway, Curtis and Danny are going to be over in a little bit. Okay, listen. We're not done yet. By this point, everyone knew this was fuck, said one former employee. What is the warning that will come up? Nah, new. When you click the link, you'll see generic unsafe URL message, references spam, malware, violations of Twitter rules. Ian Pluckett, whatever we do in the comms, this will become a bias claim for Jack pre-hearing immediately. Let's make it clear we're proactively but cautiously interpreting this through the lens of our hack materials policy and allowing the link with a warning and significant reduction of spread. Former VP Global Comms, Brandon Borman asked, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? So basically, they're internally having a conversation. This news information, this news story has dropped on New York Post, and they're internally trying to have a conversation. There is no evidence that like this was the reason why. Like, as far as I know, I don't think they actually fucking stated. I don't think there's any proof that like the branding camp straight up said, hey, you need to not cover this story. You need to make sure that this story does not spread. We are the Joe Biden campaign, and we're telling you right now, you're not allowed to do this. And it was more so them just trying to clean up the dick part, okay? I mean, those are like the only examples that they fucking showed for the most part, like doxing and PP revenge porn. So that's pretty much it. Like that's so. It came across as like a big nothing burger, but here's the synopsis, okay? Elon Musk said that. To the Tulsi Gabbard of Substack, Matt Taibbi, who said they amount to a unique and explosive story, revealing the juicy details inside Twitter's decision, which had previously been rejected by such liberal outlets as Fox News and the Wall Street Journal due to its suspicious provenance. Taibbi agreed to divulge the private emails on Twitter itself rather than his Substack as a part of a few conditions, which he does not detail, that were imposed on him, presumably by Musk or a Musk factotum. The documents Taibbi tweeted on Friday were titillating in the way that reading private correspondence revealing what people were really saying around a controversial subject is. But nothing new was learned about the contours of the story. The leak mostly relitigates two facts that have already been received much ink across the media. One, how Twitter throttled New York Post's initial story about Hunter Biden's laptop based on what we know was an incorrect assessment of its source, which, by the way, I think is an adequate thing to be upset about. Both Twitter making these decisions on their own and also doing it, and what the implications are, what the future implications are for doing such a thing. That's not a good thing. You can't fucking do that by being like, oh, it's hack material. Because there's a lot of shit that's hack material. Everything that WikiLeaks has released is hack material. I think stopping WikiLeaks information from being revealed, especially when contents are carefully considered and written on, is unacceptable. At the time when this first happened, I said the exact same things about hacked material policy. I thought the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop were real, but I also said there could be additional material that they snuck in there because I also thought that it was hacked because it looked like a hacked document. This is something that foreign agents do regularly. I don't even have an issue with this kind of thing because I think that it is important for the public to know what goes on behind the scenes. Between people who are in positions of power. I don't mean fucking Twitch streamers, by the way, for those of you who live with horse blinders on, who think Twitch streamers have any kind of control over your lives. I'm talking about motherfucking statesmen, okay? Shut the fuck up. In the first point, the emails confirmed the essential consensus that has come into focus in reporting on the matter. Twitter got out over its skis on the band, and a typical corporate bureaucratic goat rope ensued the company as it tried to unfuck the situation, as one employee put it. To say that this is not a new revelation would be an understatement, given that Twitter's former CEO Jack Dorsey admitted that this was a mistake over a year ago. As such, it was the latter point that drove the most hysterical discussion online on Friday. So this isn't new. This is conversation that the Twitter CEO has openly admitted. Okay? Would the material have changed your vote? No, but who gives a fuck? Hacked material, if it's revenge porn and like is about like random celebrity gossip, is bad. Hacked material, if it's like literally the DNC communicating with CNN and its emails that have been heavily redacted by whatever publisher to make sure that there is no additional private information in there, that is a fundamental component of a fucking story, is information that should not be suppressed. I hope that is understandable. Hunter Biden's revenge porn is unacceptable to have on the platform, regardless of how nice his fucking penis looks. Okay, the DNC in your emails, more likely than you think. Of course they're in my emails. They fucking beg me for money literally every time a school shooting happens. Literally. Nancy is like, Hasan, it's time we talked. Every time, dude. Every time something terrible happens, they're like, Hasan, we have to talk. I'm like, bro, what are you, my fucking girlfriend, Nancy? God damn. Unrelated pause to anything in that moment. Let's continue. Why, yes, Nancy. I would like to see those Pelosi's. All right, let's continue. Unrelated. So, the most retweeted installment of Taibbi's threads so far was this, which purported to show the Biden campaign directing Twitter to delete specific tweets. This was like in the beginning. It was the full Monty. It's like eighth on the line here on the thread. The supposed smoking gun resulted in Musk responding to his own journalistic stenographer on Twitter with a fire emoji and the comment, if this isn't a violation of the Constitution's First Amendment, what is? Musk was so impressed with his digital citizen's arrest that he made it his pinned tweet, after which the MAGA attaboys for Muskie came in hot and heavy. Right-wing commentator Buck Sexton, real name. I love this. The way that this article is written is so funny. Cracking McWestside, thank you for the 5. Get the subs, by the way. said that this was a bright red line violation and that Biden should have been impeached for it. Representative James Comer of Tennessee was on Fox promising that everyone on Twitter involved with this would be brought before the House Oversight Committee. Fox House Oversight Committee. Representative Billy Long retweeted several MAGA influencers praising Elon for, among other things, exposing corruption at the highest levels of society. Meanwhile, Carrie Lake, hype man Pizzagate Jack Posobiec, declared this the biggest story in modern presidential election history. What was the story? Twitter took down revenge porn. The offending material that Taibbi revealed was removed by Twitter at the Biden campaign's request was just a bunch of links to Hunter Biden in the buff. It took us literally, you want to know how laughable this is? Because I thought that there was going to be more to the story. You want to know why I thought there was going to be more to the story? Because we uncovered that this was a nothing burger 30 seconds after that 8th tweet on that thread was released. There was motherfuckers in this chat going back in the Wayback Machine and sending me what the offending tweets were. Just cock. Just Hunter Biden's cock. That's it. There was a tweet from a Chinese account featuring a naked woman on top of Hunter Biden, as well as a family photo. 2 pictures of Hunter Biden's penis, one with another woman in the background. Taibbi's next list of materials removed by Twitter after being flagged by the DNC. They include a picture of Hunter Biden smoking crack and getting his feet rubbed, and a link to a Hunter Biden sex tape. Now, people are saying that was removed by request from Biden team, not Twitter guidelines. Yes, you fucking idiot. When you are a presidential campaign or when you are a famous person, guess what? You have an extra way to make a request. You can make a direct request. It's revenge porn. It's still illegal. Revenge porn is not free speech. How do you call it a nothing burger with that much meat involved? You called it right when the election results came in, and the first thing you said was Republicans are going to spend all their time trying to uncover the Hunter Biden leaks only to get cock. Yeah, and boy, did they get a lot of cock. And it seems like all Republicans want nowadays is more Hunter Biden cock. Private hack material is fucking bad chat. State government is fucking different because that's more akin to whistleblowing. Hunter was getting blown, but he isn't a whistle. Nice. It's so funny that we were able to find what the reason was in precisely 30 seconds, and it was such a nothing burger that I personally thought there would be more to it, but I guess not. And the entirety of right-wing Twitter just... Conservatives thinks we worship all Dems and will defend them like they do with their daddy, hasanabi. It's nuts. Like, I don't give a fuck about Joe Biden. Taibbi mentions in this thread that the Republicans also use these tools and were in power, so they still focused on Hunter Biden. They also doxed Jack Dorsey and Ro Khanna's emails. Yeah, I saw that. What is this? Twitter acting by itself to suppress free speech is not a First Amendment violation, but acting under orders from the government to suppress free speech with no judicial review is. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. Oh, he's talking about the claims that these were like, leaks from the foreign government. He says that right in the tweet. That's the claim of which he found no evidence for. Also, but like Trump was the government. Why are they saying that like Joe Biden running for president was the government? Do they think that like Democrats are the government when they're not in charge? Because I do think that Republicans run the government even when they are not in charge. I'll tell you that. That much is true, okay? God damn it. The door is fucking. What I don't get is if it's bad so for the left to do it, why are Republicans ignoring Trump? The actual president at the time was nuking shit off the app too. Yeah. So here's the funny thing, though. Here's the funny thing about all of this. Unironically, Trump doing it is the government. The Biden campaign doing it is not. So by their own fucking standards, the Trump thing doing it, the Trump thing doing it is like literally more the government acting out on this way than the Biden campaign doing it. It's only deep state because Republicans cannot be deep ever. I mean, that's true. The only time their wives experience depth is when I'm inside of them, you know? Matt and Elon know that too. That's why they had to try and get ahead of it with the Twitter employees. Don't R to Dems thing. So scummy. No, he said there was no foreign hacked. He said there was no warning from the FBI as it was reported. No. I understood that. I understood that. But what you also have to fucking understand is the entire story in and of itself is a nothing burger, because the reason why it was written to begin with was to make the claim that like the government was interfering with what is being posted on Twitter. I've seen a lot of concerning tweets about the recent Brazil election. If those tweets are accurate, it's possible that Twitter personnel gave preference to left-wing candidates. What? Elon Musk is like, is he trying to, hey, Elon Musk, can you find out what other elections were handled by the former Twitter regime? Thank you, the rest of the world. He has access to every internal system. He could just say whether or not that is true. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, what? Is he going to try and do like coups personally now? Oh my God. That's what it is? That's great. Anyway, you missed a word? Wait, I did? So, did he just fire everyone that has plausible accountability? What the opposite of deniability here on election interference by his product? At this point, Elon's just trying to type in fake shit as tweets. He seems unhinged enough. Yeah, but it is kind of dangerous to have the fucking, have someone with that kind of power be that fucking unhinged. He's basically like unshackled. He's basically fucking unshackled by the material interests of capitalism. If he's just like willing to cast it aside to get a couple licks in, you know what I mean? Or I guess maybe he just, maybe there's an even scarier reality here, which is that it won't actually harm him or his material interests on the platform to do such a thing, to be like a unhinged conspiracy theorist that is actively stoking the fires of discontent. You know? The decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, the former head of legal policy. They just freelanced it, is how one former character. Okay. So basically that's it. That's it. That's the story overall, which is just Hunter Biden's penis. You know, Hunter's Biden. Okay. Wait, where's the Bulwark article that I was reading earlier? Oh, here it is. And that's the big hubbub. Social media company removes unwanted dick pics. As someone who once consulted for social media content on content moderation issues, let me tell you, the amount of eggplant-related terms and service violations these platforms review in a year is so voluminous that we have not invented an artificial intelligence machine capable of counting them. 1. Campaigns of all ideological stripes have direct links into social media companies and make requests about offending content. There is nothing at all strange about what is shown in these emails. If Jeb's Kids Grundle was posted by a Chinese troll, we surely would have flagged it for the company in hopes that they deleted it. And I suspect that their internal correspondent on the matter would have been identical. This would not have been a demand or a dictate from our campaign, mind you. Okay? Companies can do what they want. In this specific instance, the request came at the campaign that has absolutely no government authority at all. At the time of the correspondence in question, Joe Biden was a private citizen running for office, while Donald Trump was the president. Taibbi acknowledges that Trump's White House made requests that were received and honored, and that there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. So is there any First Amendment issues at play here? I don't believe there are, since neither Musk nor Taibbi have demonstrated the government made any mandates on Twitter. They would, in this case, only relate to the material that Trump wanted removed. Literally. The story undercuts the main point that they are trying to make, which is that the government interference on Twitter was a gigantic problem. Meanwhile, they're literally defending the government interference. The actual government interference was done by the Trump campaign. Bro, you're so blind to the truth. It's sad you sit here and deceive thousands of people. No. Why did you ban him? What the fuck? I want to see what he was going to say, dog. Come on. Like, what? Oh, come on, dude. Dude, you got to unban that guy. That's a person who is so fucking, like, mentally unstable. I have to hear from him. Like, what is it? Like, that the truth is that, like, Hunter Biden has a fat cock and everyone needs to see it? Is that what it is? You know, let him cook, bro. Let him cook. Like, look at this. Dude, he's so stupid, dude. Look. Dems control the House and Senate. That's your worst take yet. What? Imagine being blind to this blatant corruption. You got to be brain dead. Libs are speechless trying to turn this away at any cost. Lamau so fried. Bro, it's not just liberals. Like, literally right-wingers are also kind of fucking sad about the story because they thought that there was going to be more. And it was just more Hunter Biden penis because he just has a lot of penis. You know what I mean? And that's just sad. Someone said the truth is that there's a middle of the hour 1 minute ad break. Well, that is the truth. So far, I'm deeply underwhelmed, Sebastian Gorka said. Former Trump administration official turned right-wing radio host. We know the Dems in D.C. collude with the Dems in Palo Alto. Big whoop. But the right wing didn't leave it just to a single post. He continued to double down when pressed by MAGA diehard followers who were convinced that the Twitter files promoted Musk with a smoking gun. He responded to a Truth Social user claiming that Twitter company emails were a clear violation of the First Amendment. Radio host fired back. No, it's not the DNC asking a private company to censor. No, it's not the DNC asking a private company to censor. Has nothing to do with the First Amendment. Also true. Likewise, New York Post columnist Miranda Devine, one of the first right-wing reporters to begin writing about the laptop, told Fox News host Tucker Carlson it wasn't the smoking gun we'd hoped for. I feel that Elon Musk has held back some material, she then alleged, claiming sinister forces were perhaps controlling Musk after the Twitter chief took a meeting with the Apple CEO Tim Cook earlier in the week. In particular, there's a tweet in which Matt Taibbi says he hasn't seen any evidence that law enforcement specifically warned off Twitter from our story, but that's just not correct. That's like, what do you want? It's not even just the left that is saying like it's a nothing burger. Also, specifically with regards to the left, like you guys know. You guys fucking know. I want to see Hunter Biden's cock too, okay? Just like everybody else. But unfortunately, you just got to hold yourself back. Okay? It's revenge porn and it's not appropriate. That's it. He's got a nice one, and until he posts cock on his own, you're just not going to be able to see it. I just asked him, and I see it on the crack Discord. Yeah. Far right Twitter rival Gab went a step further by attacking Musk. Elon dropped his total nothing burger Hunter Biden story, which revealed nothing new whatsoever beyond what we've all known for years now. To distract from the fact that he suspended the biggest cultural superstar of a generation for going on a podcast to say he loves everyone. What? The Ukraine story? Like, oh, when the Ukraine stuff happened, originally, the Burisma conversation, Hunter Biden had no business working for Burisma, okay? I said it. People yelled at me when I said Hunter Biden is absolutely trafficking in the Biden name to get jobs in places that he's not supposed to be getting. That is routine process in the American empire.